Hey there, it's Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan, looking at a 1998 Toyota Hilux Surf turbo diesel 5-speed manual, and of course 4-wheel drive. This one has just 110,000 kilometers on it and is fantastic. This is a great Hilux Surf, and although there are a lot of Hilux Surfs out there, there aren't very many that are as great as this. So if you're looking for a super duper clean one, or maybe a video to watch a super duper clean one, this is going to be it. So I'll come back to the engine in a second, but it does run properly, as you can hear. It is a diesel. It's going to be a little bit louder than a gasoline, but people love this diesel engine, including me. Little rev for you. So nice sounding engine. We'll just switch that off for the rest of the report here. So it's a 3-liter turbo diesel engine, and in the later form like this one, this is a 185 series, you get a top mount intercooler here. The best version of the 1KZ, I believe. I'm just rethinking myself and wondering if that's true. Timing belt has been changed. It doesn't really show where because it has faded off, but it has been done once. Since the car only has 110,000 kilometers, it was probably done well before the 100,000 kilometer time because it would need some time to fade off like that. The coolant is looking fine. Just show the oil here. Oil is actually looking less dark than you usually see. The diesel pulls in carbon into the oil, not like a gasoline engine, so they turn black really quickly. So the oil has probably changed not that long ago. Just close the hood, and hood scoop. Functional hood scoop for that top mount intercooler, and it really completes the look of the car. And this one's going to North America, so it's going to USA, and things like that hood scoop and the diesel engine are really going to draw attention to it, whereas North American ones never got the diesel, and therefore never got the top mount intercooler version, so this hood scoop is exclusive to outside of North America. I'm going to go and ahead and translate this for you, but I got a truck trying to run me over, and so I'm just going to move out of the way. But you'll see on this sheet how clean the vehicle is. This is an Octagrid 4B 1998 Hilux Surf SSR-X. 110,936 kilometers at the time of auction. 5-speed manuals are pretty rare, so having the diesel with the intercooler and the 5-speed manual and in great condition makes this a bit of a unicorn. Of course, you can buy unicorns from auction if you want. There are plenty of them up if you're open to many different brands and whatnot, but they tend to cost a lot more. It's like the pricing graph is like a hockey stick. The price goes up, but then when the condition gets really high, it just starts going up more than that. There are people who want the best one that they can find, and so they're willing to pay, and that's the reason why. You also want to buy something like this for resale, like what a lot of our customers do. There's less to prepare and less time to invest in a car that's already in excellent condition. So no sales points and no notes, which is kind of weird on a vehicle that's this clean. But report here from the inspector says interior dirty, wear, and scratch. It's actually a very nice interior. It looks better than you would expect for 110,000 kilometers. And this is already fairly low mileage for one of these. Underside has been painted and has some surface rust. I looked at the underside and it looked great to me. Door mirror scratched and paint peeling, only a very little amount. Rear spoiler paint peeling, again, only a very little amount. I'll show those things in the walk around. Small scratches on the car, and then it says A1, 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 U1, A1. So only very minor damages on the body that I really couldn't even notice enough to point out. One thing I did notice is some paint fade on a rear over fender, which I'm going to show you. But before we get into that, I'll show you all around so that you can see 360 degrees. I want to point out how awesome that sticker looks. Now that sticker is now 25 years old, or 25 plus years old. It's unlikely for those plastic stickers to last that long in that good of condition. It's bright, doesn't have fade in it, no cracks. It's really makes the car look more special than any of the other ones. These decals are often cracked, like they get like hundreds of cracks throughout the sticker just due to age and sun damage. And so you see, when you see one that looks more like it did out of the factory, it turns heads. And the paint's the same way, nice and bright and glossy. There is some UV damage on the steering wheel, which leads me to believe that the previous owner was really good about getting body coatings on this. Which, I don't know why, but you'll find body coatings are very common on German cars. They're common on something like a Crown. They're common on sports cars, 911s, of course. You don't see too many people getting body coatings on minivans or SUVs. And as a result, paint often doesn't last as long on them. And yeah, I'm sure you've seen it before. If you're interested in these, there are lots with faded hood or faded roof. I got to say, sorry about the condition of this. It was really windy and then rainy. And when you get windy and then rainy, you get pollen. And then you get the rain making little build-up spots of dust. Yeah, it's pollen. Okay, so let's look at the body now. We have a nice and bright grille. I don't think it has any fade. I think this is just dirty with the pollen a little bit. Headlights are nice and bright. These ones are made out of glass, so they aren't going to fade like modern headlights do. Kind of the last era of the glass headlight. They are chrome inside, and that chrome can fade, so they're not impervious to damage, but these ones look great. Front bumper, unfortunately, I feel like the auction inspector should have been a little bit more descriptive about this, because all these little black dots are areas where the paint has chipped off, and you can see the black primer underneath. Okay, this one has little fog lights. These marker lights are in good condition, albeit they are plastic. Over fender is looking good. Oftentimes they'll either fade or you'll get cracks in this gasket here. This one looks fine. Side panel here is good, but see how I moved the pollen away here? It's to show that there is just a little bit of water marking coming off of this. So the rain lands on the car and it kind of builds up around here. So you get a little bit of a stream that comes down here. And because of that, the hard water in Japan can damage the paint a little bit, and it has in this area. It's subtle, but it's there. You'll sometimes see it below mirrors as well, but these ones look fine. Here's the paint peeling on the mirror. Not a big deal, right? And then come down here and see the beautiful sticker that says Surf. There was actually two Surfs that Toyota had. There was a Master Ace Surf and the Hilux Surf. A little bit of a cracked paint in there as well. Okay, taillights looking good. You can roll down this back window, which is cool, but in this generation, the 185 generation, you no longer have a tailgate, which makes it easier to put stuff into the trunk if you want. The version with the rear mount spare tire has one more step. You got to pull that out, but then you lift this up and no problem. Now, we will come back to that in the interior check part. We're chaptering the videos now so that if you wanted to see the interior, you click on the interior section of the video timeline. So I'm not going to show that yet like I sometimes used to. So a little bit of like this is going to rust eventually. It has two little spots of rust now. It's going to need to be brushed and repainted. And a little chip here. And coming down this side, basically everything on this side is good, even better than the other side. So not much to show you there. And then I got to show you that over fender damage that I was talking about. So right here, you'll notice that this section of the over fender is glossy and this section isn't, because we've got some fade there. I guess the auction inspector didn't notice that. Okay, and roof is looking good. And they mentioned paint peeling on the spoiler. It's very minor. So let me just climb up here to show you. Just here. It's pretty common for the whole spoiler to be paint peeling, but it's just these 2 points. Plus, the spoiler is up tall enough that you're not going to see it. Like, here's somebody who's 5'10". Probably you'd have to be 7 feet tall to see it. Okay, let's have a look at the interior. We'll start with the trunk because we're already here. And this is a 5-seater, which means that you get a ton of room in the back to put the stuff. You can even fold those seats down and sleep in here if you needed to. So it can be a lifestyle type vehicle. This is incredibly clean. Look at how unscratched and undirty this is. This part here, no scratches on it at all. That's unheard of. And this carpet has been professionally cleaned at some point recently. The inside of the car smells really nice too. Or smells nicely. Let's try to speak in proper grammar. Door cards, looking good. The 185 series, this is the third generation of the Hilux Surf. The interior kept getting bigger with each generation. So this one is the first one that I personally don't feel too cramped inside. The 130 series I think are lovely, but they are a little tight on the inside. Okay, clean and nice and good. Seatbelt's even been tucked in for you there. And cup holder, let's see what that looks like. Oh, double cup holders. A little flimsy, but better than zero cup holders. How does that go in? And ashtray in the back because smoking is really popular. In Japan still is. It's kind of weird. Usually the richer a country, the less smoking that they do. But Japan kind of bucks that trend. Now I don't know what this is, but it has a little dealer optional thing. There's a little wire and a little pad that says Toyota. This is on, I believe, all the doors. No, just the two front ones. If anyone knows what that is, let me know, because I really don't know what it is. Tiny bit of wear here. Not too bad, but steering wheel. Yeah. The reason why we know it's UV damage is because the steering wheel wear is from here to here only. So basically, sun coming down and sun coming in from the side window. Seats? Excellent. So nice to see it. And nice clean carpets. When I opened the door to get into the vehicle, I had a feeling like this is nice. And it's not a feeling I get a lot with Toyota trucks. Like 70 series, 90 series, or 95 series. We got like a 71 over there. That's a 78. Lots of them are gross. Lots of them are super high mileage. It's really nice to see these nice low mileage ones in great condition. Aftermarket Navi system in here. I've never seen this version. Actually, this must be like an entry model version of it because it doesn't have power folding mirrors. And it has a weird, like never seen it before, style of climate control. You can set the temperature and you can set the fan speed. Let me just check. I'm going to check the Prado over here. See if it has the same one as the Surf. Because this is the same era. No, that's a different one from the Surf. Pretty common for car companies to share parts from one model to the next. But Toyota had enough money to make it a bespoke one per car, I guess. Or two, in the case of this. It has a bunch of mystery switches. This one here is on or on, so no matter what, you don't really get to choose anything. It doesn't have a center section either. It's just on or on. This one here and this one here. Mystery switches. And then a turbo timer, toll collection box. 5-speed manual. Oh, so cool. SUVs with 5-speed manual. Nothing like it. And so the 5-speed manual feels very good to shift. Very mechanical, very sure of itself. It is not like a sports car. Like, there are good shifting sports cars, Miata being probably the most famous one. But just like the industrial feel of the Toyota shifters for their trucks and the fact that they never die, I like it a lot. And then no smell of cigarettes. Doesn't look like it's ever been used. Has an extra cigarette lighter adapter down there. A couple of cup holders. And a console that's really deep, but not very large. Look at this. Original plastic on there that they never took off. And a sunroof. Boom. Okay. Report time is finished. I got one more to go for today. Then I get to go back to my Saturday. It has been too busy, so I took an extra Saturday at work, which is something I don't do very often, maybe 1 or 2 times a year. Anyway, that's all for this one. Thanks so much for watching, and have a nice day.